Good day. In this video, we're going to try and find wholes given parts and their percentage. So let's start with this first problem. 80% of the number of students in a class is 24. How many pupils are there in the class? As we can see, we already have the percentage along with the part. And we can always go back to the idea of what a percentage is. That 80% is actually 80 parts over 100. And we can use this as a way to make sense of the 24 students in class, which actually makes up 80 parts out of 100. We can actually solve for the total number of pupils in class by trying to find out what value represents 1%. Now, this might not sound realistic if we do this, but it will give us a value that we can actually multiply 100 times to reach the actual amount we are looking for. So, let's begin. 24 can be divided by 80 parts. This will result in 0.3. Now, there's no such thing as a 0.3 student, but this value can represent 1% of the population. It's not realistic, but in terms of the use of 100 parts, this is what we have. Now, let's try to multiply 0.3 times 100 parts. We will get 30 pupils. Now, you might ask if there are other methods to solve for this. We remember that we are going to divide by 80 parts and then multiply by 100 parts for whatever the result may be. We also know that 24 is 80 over 100 of the whole class. And we usually interpret this as a multiplication sentence, meaning 80 over 100 times the whole class should result in 24. And we know that when we have a multiplication sentence, we can actually write the opposite, which is a division sentence of the product being divided by one of the factors so that we can arrive at the other factor. So we can say 24 divided by 80 over 100. And we can see a similar process occurring from our first method. We will see 24 times 100 over 80. We can cancel values. This will be 5 and this will be 4, since we can divide both values by 20. And we can cancel 24 and 4 since we can divide both by 4. We'll have 1 and then we can have 6. So 6 times 5 will result in 30 pupils, which is the same answer as method 1. This ends our first problem for this video. See you in the next one.